Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. It's your first time here and the content is of value to you. Hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. We go live 30 minutes after market close, Monday through Friday. We're here again today. I have my other computer on. If you want to join our communities, you can want to join our free options trading group. Links are below to that, along with our Discord. Just getting things going here right now. If you're here right now, say what up. Yeah, pretty crazy day. SPY or the S&P's closed down about 0.25% after like this little sell-off here, and yo, Garrett, what's going on? How you doing? Brendan, before you asked, I learned a lesson. And sorry to hear. Sorry to hear. Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. We got Nvidia earnings on deck. We got Netflix. What else do we have here? Tesla was red again. Facebook, Amazon was red. Apple was slightly green. Square was up by 4 cents. You know, it's kind of a weird day. Like, you know, we had some pretty crazy swings in the markets. You know, this morning, I see what's up. This morning Dow was up pre-market like 80 points, and then it went down like 115, like in all of this, and then, you know, Dow closed, it's saying it's down 67 right now, but it was green. It went up to, if we look at like /YM here, you know, this was a crazy ride, you know, on the Dow. You know, we had that retail report come out this morning. It said it was like, what does it say? Like, it was like the worst retail report in 10 years or something like that. Like I don't know what was up with that, but it, you know, it tanked it. You know, it was up 80 points. It came down from 25,600 down to 25,300 from the lows to the highs, like from the highs to the lows here. I mean, that was crazy. Lord, what's going on? Surprise, QQQ down after hours. Yeah, and NASDAQ, Brian, NASDAQ was the strongest out of all of them today. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Like in this kind of like market, there's a lot of fake outs. Like, you don't know what's up. Like you would think like a drop like this, we would just continue down versus like going up and then going back down. Like, there's a lot of fake outs. Like, you would think like and this was like on any stock today, you know, we had the huge rip down in the morning, and then we had this failed attempt to bounce back, and then it ripped back down, only to people were thinking it was going to recover, and it was trying to recover back up to where it was, and now it's to go down. Like, if there were no fake outs, it would be way too easy. FC, I'm with you, but the amount of fake outs it's intense these days. Like, it's intense. Hey Nick, learning a lesson, made some stupid mistakes today in Nvidia. We'll see if we make it up for tomorrow. Yo, Abel, glad you're here. Nice to see you on the live stream, man. It's been a minute since I see you on the live stream, so glad you're here. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Bought the SPY in the afternoon. Bought that Rich. Bought the SPY in the afternoon, 47.82 and down. I'm not sure what that means. Are you saying you're down $47 or? Yeah, we got so Nvidia earnings right now. We got the expected move on Nvidia was plus or minus almost $11. It was 10.80, 10.89. So we'll just call it $11. You know, plus or minus 1080. You know, it's at 168 right now. I don't know what the report is. We can see if we can we could find this report here for Nvidia. Come on. All right, here we go. I don't know. I don't think this is right, but because it's kind of weird how this is CNBC. CNBC says Nvidia. This says it came out 55 minutes ago, but that's not the case. You know, it says company beat expectations of the top and bottom lines after providing updated guidance last month. Ace got paid during the Dow pump. Nice. 166.81. They're holding it tight to expected move. The call hasn't started yet. If they can feed in some more BS guidance, Nvidia's at 180. Yeah, I think Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia is kind of crazy. Nvidia's recent inventory issues appear to have worsened sentiment in the company supply chain. So 80 cents per share versus 75 cents per share. So, and then revenue was 2.21 versus 2.20. Adele, what's going on? Glad you're here. Yeah, I guess, you know, FC. We talked about this on last couple times on the stream. We talked about this yesterday and the day before when we were leading up to earnings. Yo, 7-day, what's going on? Off early for Valentine's Day. Yeah, you guys got to. I don't know if you guys are single or married or dating or what, but I don't know. Valentine's Day has never been like a huge holiday. I guess it's big if you're working in the restaurant industry. I never really liked Valentine's Day when working in the restaurant industry, just because it was this like so crazy. So, you know, if you're going out tonight, don't go to Red Lobster and don't go to Olive Garden, because that's like where everyone goes. Like, don't do it. I don't know why you would take your loved one there. If you really cared about them, you wouldn't take them there. But anyways, it's probably because they got some gift cards left over from Christmas. It seems like when people buy you gift cards for Christmas for food, it's always the Red Lobster and Olive Garden cards, or Buffalo Wild Wings, or whatever they sell in Target or Walgreens while you're waiting in line. You know. Anyways, off topic. Sorry, we just went. Nvidia. You know, FC. We were talking about this on the stream there, where they lowered their guidance for 2019 a couple days ago. Just like, I guess we should have known, like Apple. We should have known. You know, but I mean, you don't really know. Like that's why earnings are such a gamble sometimes, because you don't really ever know until like the numbers come out. You know, you don't ever really know. Jordan, what's going on? Paper money accounts got paid. Okay, cool. I'm just checking in. I was just checking in on the stream quality. Is the stream quality okay for you guys? I haven't had really too many issues, but I just want to check in real quick. So yeah, Nvidia. So Nvidia's at 168 right now. Let's say you bought a call. Let's say 154. Like, let's say you bought a call. Let's see how much these were going for. So like the 155 calls. Let's say you bought a 155 call, just like right at the money there. You know, so the 155 calls were going for 53 bucks. So I mean, these will probably be, you know, these will probably be about 80 to 100% winner if we open up like at 166, 165. So these will probably be like at 80% to 100% winner. But it's also dangerous, because like if it went down, you know, it's hard to it would have been hard to hedge this position successfully. Like like if you wanted to buy, let's say you bought the 155 call and then you bought the 148 put, you know, it cost you close to 800 bucks. You'd probably make like 100 or 200 bucks. Probably more like 100, to be honest with you. So $800 risk for $100 gain, you know, it's like, would it have really been worth it to play this safely? And then if you like, oh, I'm just going to go all in call, like you could have been rewarded. But if Nvidia opened up flat or went down, you could really get screwed. So, you know, when playing earnings, you gotta kind of play through the scenarios. Is like, okay, how is this trade going to screw me? Like how am I going to get in trouble on this trade? I got the 180 call. That might not be a bad play for March 1st. Baron, that might not be a bad play. Might not be bad at all. My paper trade is 155 call. All right, FC, update me tomorrow morning. What'd you pay for that 155 call on your paper account? Rich, no, hey Rich, don't text and drive, man. Stay safe. Stay safe. Don't text and drive. In other news today. Whoa. I'm gonna go through my trades in a second. I just want to get like these news pieces out of the way because I think this is what people. So you know, all day we had some. It was kind of weird. Like Trump tweeted like funding the wall, and then he deleted it, and then he tweeted like reviewing the bill. So I guess he's going to sign the spending bill, but declare a national emergency to build the wall. You know, basically just giving the middle finger to the Democrats. But what was interesting about this article? I'm not going to read the whole thing, but what I found interesting was at the very bottom of the article. It says Trump's demand for $5.7 billion to construct the wall and Democrats' refusal to yield to him led to the earlier shutdown. In December, Trump said he would take the mantle. In December, Trump said, I'll repeat this, said he would take the mantle for the shutdown. So they're saying he took the mantle for the shutdown, and then it says, but then in the last sentence it says, most Americans eventually did blame him for it, according to polls. Like this is playing out like a crazy movie. Just like I read that, it was just so funny. You know, it was like, yeah, I'll take the blame. And it's like, no, we already blame you for it. Sorry. You know, just crazy. But then, you know, we were waiting for like, it's hard to it's Trump 52% approval rating. Yeah, I mean it's hard to trade when you have like these type of scenarios hanging in the balance, like that are going to impact your trades in some way. Like when we're trading, you know, it's hard enough to trade with like understanding the company and what it's worth and where it's going to go and all that. But then when you throw in another layer of like politics, and you guys know, like, you know, politics is shady. You know what they do in politics, like you guys seen House of Cards and stuff like that. Like, you know what they do is all these like crazy tactics. And if you guys remember the 2016 election year when you guys were trading that, and we had Trump and we had Hillary, head to head, and you know once like one CNBC news alert be like, hey, polls show polls show that Hillary Clinton's going to win, and then the stock market would rip up and it would be amazing, and it would, like, we were, you know, everything, and then like something would happen with Trump, and then we would rip back down and says, oh no, Trump looks like he's going to pull the lead over here. Like it was just like crazy. Like I remember like huge swings on Amazon. I was selling put credit spreads on Amazon, and they were like far out of the money. I'm like, okay, these are good. We're good to go. You know, I go out to lunch, come back, these things are riding in the money. You know, and I was talking about like 50 points out, 40 points out, like 50, 60 points. And come back, you're like right in the money. It's like, oh, you know, CNBC put out something about Trump or Hillary or whatever. And like, it's hard. It definitely makes it harder to trade with politics. It definitely makes it harder. I mean, some people live for it. But that's why I don't like to trade like Forex and stuff like that, because it rides on policies and all that stuff. You know, so for me today, I was actually up all morning, and then I let Shopify get the best of me. So today I'm down $92, and most of it was due to Shopify. And there's really no excuse. There's really no excuse for that. We'll go through the trades. I hit a nice 60% winner on Alibaba right at open. Got that bing bang boom, and then Shopify I was up on, and I didn't close the trade out. I didn't close the trade out when I went in the money. I didn't close it out, and greed kind of took over. And this is what happens when greed takes over. You go from a green day down to my biggest loser today is Shop. You guys can't see that. My biggest loser today was Shop. It ate away all my profits and then some. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Had a nice green morning. I was up on Shopify instead of being down $100 on Shopify today. I was actually up like $50 or $60, and I didn't take it because on Shopify it looked like we were heading lower. But like as the video says here, buy the dip is in full effect. Buy the dip. If we're looking at SPY, we drop, bought the dip, we're up. This when it flattened out here yesterday on Shopify, you should have just bought the dip, and then I think for me personally, buying the dip is hard when we have all these things regarding the politics. Yeah, it's not that the shop trade worked. I was up money on it. I was profitable. It's not that it didn't work. The failure was due to my part not taking profits. So that was the failure. So today was a kind of crazy readjusting day, but I'll go through these trades here. I'll show it to you guys on Tastyworks. I had the same trades on Tastyworks that I do Thinkorswim, so I can so it's a little bit bigger here for you guys, because you guys said that it's easier for you to read what's on Tastyworks here versus like what it's I don't think it's possible. If I understand it right, let me know. You guys can't really read this very clearly, right? Or do you want me to stick on Thinkorswim, or do you want me to maneuver between Tastyworks and Thinkorswim? Let me know. While I take a sip of this Coke, and actually while we're waiting for you guys, KO bombed 8%, and I think what was it, the worst day they've had in 10 years. Adele, Tastyworks is better to read. Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. Tasty. Okay. So let's go through this. Let's talk about my Baba trade. Baba trade to close out. Baba and ATVI close out an open into the selling strength there. Did a really good job on those guys. So let's go into Alibaba here to give you some context. So Alibaba, I opened a strangle yesterday for $1.06. I bought the 167.50 put and the 175 call for $1.06. I closed it out at $1.62 this morning. So made a nice bump on that. It was a 55% winner or something like that, 55, 60%, somewhere around there. And just caught the momentum nicely on this off. Yes, it was the pricing was kind of all over the place. Don't take profits. Don't take profits, just hold. So I mean, we had a nice rip down. I took my profits. I felt really good about that trade, that I stayed disciplined, and it just sucks that I was so disciplined in taking that trade and taking it off, that only to get sloppy on a trade later. Like what? Sometimes you just look at yourself in the mirror and you just like, what do you like? You're terrible. You're a disgrace. You pull off a great trade, only to turn around just to let greed ride, and So that was the trade in the morning. We'll go through I had another Baba trade in the afternoon. I guess while we're here talking about Baba, I don't know why I typed in today there. While we're talking about Baba, I'll talk about the trade that I did today. Think you're too hard on yourself, man? No. So it's kind of like when you're trying to master a skill, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's golf, basketball, business, trading. you have to analyze your faults. Like, otherwise you'll never get better. Like, why did I hold on? Like, why did I not sell Shopify when I was profitable? And the reason why is because of greed. So if you know greed is up in your emotions, like if you're high up on greed today, you gotta reflect on that and say, why did, kind of meditate on that. It'll make you better. It'll make you better. Or at least, that's what's worked for me. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But, in trading, you either make money or you lose money. And I didn't lose money because the market screwed me. I didn't lose money because there was a Trump tweet. I didn't lose money because of anything. I lost money because of my own greed and thinking that Shopify was going to go to 167, 168 area. Okay? So that's why I'm hard on myself, is because it was my fault. And then I got the reminder, instead of being up 50, 60 bucks on it, I'm down 100. So that's why it's okay to be hard on yourself when it was yourself that did it to you. You gotta, it's kind of like karate, you gotta know your weaknesses. VTech, what's up? Know your weaknesses. So then I also bought another strangle. I bought the 165 put like an hour later. I bought the 165 put on Alibaba, the 172.50 call on that. And it just, Alibaba just couldn't break. Let's see here. Alibaba just couldn't break below, and it started to get kind of bullish up here. So what I did, this was kind of a crazy plan. I then bought 3 more of the 172.50 calls for 10 cents. So if we can get up to like 170, 171 tomorrow, I'll probably get out with like a small profit or like scratch. So if we can get up to like 170, 171 tomorrow, but I also did some other trades to kind of weigh this out. Then today we did, so after Alibaba, try to do a quick Netflix day trade, which obviously after this Netflix day trade really said, really showed me that, like, hey, you should not be buying any puts. So I bought the 350 put for $1.05, and then I sold it for 81 cents. I got out of there because it wasn't, had a tight stop on there, was trying to, right where Netflix was. Let's go to when I put the position on. Man, crazy day for Netflix. It looked like it wanted to break down right here. So I put that position on Netflix it was at 11.55 and I let it go at 110. So at 11.55, it was like right here. It was like 357, and then I cut it at 110. And thankfully I did, because I closed it out right before it just started its next leg up. So I got out kind of unscathed. I lost 20 bucks or so, but what are you gonna do? At least I cut it. At least I stayed disciplined. In that. And let's see what that put is worth right now. The 150 put. Yeah, the 150 put is worth 50 cents. So instead of being like a 20% loser or so, it would have been a 50% loser. There's a possibility that you just had a glitch, right? What do you mean? What do you mean had a glitch? Are you talking about my computer, or are you talking about like the way I trade? Over 10 points range. Nice. Let's get back into the trades here. So yeah, Netflix was a small loser. Lost 20 bucks on there. $24 actually, to be exact. Shopify. So let's talk a little bit about Shopify here. So Shopify, So Shopify, I was actually in the money. So this is right down in here. I was actually up money on this position. I was up like 50 bucks. Didn't close it out. And as you can see, like not staying disciplined, you know, cost me money right away. It went to 169. I had the 170 put and the 180 call. And when you're riding this close to expiration, like I know better. Like I know better than this. Like when you're riding this close to expiration, you go in the money, you're up money, you take the money, redeploy profits. You know? Take profits, redeploy capital. Take profits, redeploy capital. I say that all the time, and then I didn't do it. So as you can see here, the dip was very, 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 very short-lived. I didn't think it was going to move that fast, but apparently in this market, I would say in the last couple weeks, there's probably been 10 times where I've been profitable and it got yanked away from me in minutes. And I think in this type of market, when we're profitable, it doesn't pay to hold unless you're on the call side, apparently. So if you're shorting, which I have been, you have to take profits immediately. If you're on the call side, you'll probably be okay. You know, like the title of the video is buy the dip. You know, buy the dip is in full effect. You know, Shopify went down almost 10 bucks yesterday. Went down 10 bucks, basically, only to rip back up 7. You know, so it was my fault for not being disciplined. But what I did do is I'm actually trading Shopify and SPY together now. So what I did was I bought another SPY put. I bought another shop put at 170 for 25 cents. So now I have 2 puts at 170 and 1 call at 180. So if shop goes up to 180, you know, we'll be okay. But if it goes back down, we'll make some money. But then I also am pairing this with SPY. Aftermarket close at 310. So 10 minutes after market close, I bought a SPY call, 275 call for tomorrow for 47 cents. So I'm kind of pairing those two together. So, you know, if we have a good update tomorrow, you know, and SPY goes to like 270, 275.50, 276 area, and then shop goes above 180, you know, we're good. If we go back down, you know, and shop goes down to like 170, plus I'm also holding puts on, I'm also holding positions on Alibaba. I have puts on, and stuff. So I always try to, even though it seems like I'm getting kind of aggressive, I'm just trying to balance and try to figure out ways that, you know that I don't normally do well when I put on one position. It's always, for me, I do the best when I'm always balancing and thinking of a different scenario. So, you know, if SPY and shop go up tomorrow, we're good. If SPY and shop and Alibaba go down tomorrow, we're good. If SPY and shop and Alibaba go up tomorrow, we're good. So the only way that we're not good is if we stay the same. So we're not going to be good if we open flat and just stay flat tomorrow, which is always a possibility. So you got to keep that in mind. I'm thinking it's not going to be a flat day tomorrow, but you know, there's been quite a few Fridays that it has been flat. You know, you could also position into a debit or call spread if you didn't feel like closing. Yeah, I agree with that. I could have definitely turned it into a spread as well. See them everywhere I go. Kudlow claimed that the retail data was just a glitch. Oh, in the market from shutdown, playing off that classic Trump line. Oh, that's what they said it was? I don't know. That's why I mean, like the politics, the news that we're getting right now, and it's not always true. Like, well, actually, none of it's really been true, especially like the trade news. Like they always say we're in talks with China, but what does that mean? Baron, on SPY and other ETFs, I can send you the list, Baron. You can buy after close up to 15 minutes. So it goes to, if you're Eastern time, 4:15, Central time, 3:15. So you could buy up to 15 minutes after close. There's a list of ETFs and stocks that you could buy. You can look it up on Google. Be quick. We real time. We real time, baby. You know, so I don't know. I don't know where the market's going to go tomorrow, because I mean right now Dow is down 80, and it seems like the one thing that I will say that I think is pretty interesting is that volatility, and not so much volatility, but swings in the market is back. Like, we're able to make money going up, like Netflix up 2% today. That's great. Tesla down 1.5%. I mean, there was some definitely ways to make money in there. Shopify. Now I'm probably not going to play Shopify too much. I was only playing the after earnings, but on Shopify, the volume has really dried up today. So yesterday the volume was really good, but today volume was really dried up. So it's probably going to go down to its like low volume self, and probably won't be trading this very much in the future. VTech, of course I can. The Kudlow comment stopped the spy pool. Yeah, I hate those kind of games. I just, like I was telling FC. I know it can't be done, but you know how there's a separation of church and state. Well, there should be a separation of politics and Wall Street. But that's never going to be the case, because they're intertwined, like, with all the policies and laws and monetary policy and all that kind of stuff, like crazy. Yeah, so I guess Coke. What was their earnings here? What was it? I don't know what the exact news. I don't have the article what they actually did, but Finran Hark. But anyways, yeah, they missed earnings, and what did they lower guidance as well? But I mean, they were riding kind of high up here too. I mean, they're back into like the median here. They're not like out of control. Like, yes, it went down a lot, but they've been slowly climbing up. They've been slowly climbing up since December. They've just been slowly kind of climbing. And last time it was up at like 50. It brought it back down to this area, and then it was back up to 50, almost 50. It didn't get it doesn't look like it got above 50 at this point on KO, and then it just dropped. Yeah, so VIX plays, Michael. VIX, I really only trade if, let's say for instance, I'm super long in the market. Let's say I have a lot of calls, I'm super long, and I'm kind of I don't want to close my positions, but I also want to have a better hedge. Maybe I'll open some calls on VIX is what I'll do. But I don't typically, I haven't been trading like that. I've been mostly pairing other stocks to offset, kind of like what I did today. I use SPY to offset, Shop and Baba, and I'll weigh things that differently that way. But for like VIX, it's difficult. It's difficult to trade. It's more. I would say for me personally, I know people trade VIX, but for me, VIX is really a hedging instrument. Like in here, let's say for instance, if you were, it definitely would pay off if you're holding, but the way that they price these options, sometimes it's not worth it. And the way and the theta decay and all that stuff. So you gotta be careful. If you're not sure, if you've never traded the VIX before, you should definitely paper trade it and get a feel for it, because it's entirely different. It's also just like kind of guessing, because when you look, one of the things that you look at is like when the market's moving, you look at the VIX. If you're looking at the VIX as like an instrument, and then you're trading behind that instrument, like let's say the VIX is going up, so then you short SPY, like what would be the indicator for VIX? VIX kind of just does what it does, but I would say VIX is more, for me, would be more of a hedge on positions, but I don't know, I haven't been trading that way. If VIX is like down here like single digits, 10 and 9, and I'm very long, and I think that being long makes me uncomfortable, I probably will buy some VIX calls. And then in case, once, if it's riding like this and then something like this happens, it goes from 10 to 28, then it's going to cover your losses. Then it's going to cover your losses or offset your losses. Maybe you just won't lose as much depending on it. It'll offset your losses for your long calls, but you're not going to be making money hand over fist. It's too hard to time what's going on here. And as you guys know, with options, you need to be able to time, because time is not your friend. Unless you're shorting options. But even then, when you're shorting options and the position goes against you, you then only have a certain amount of time for it to go out of the money. So Elon Musk owns 21.7% of Tesla. Keeps loading up. We need signed Coke bottles for $99. VTech, I'll sign a Coke bottle for you for $99. Jutka, what's going on? Jutka, glad you made it. Yo, boss, what's up? If you're here right now, just joining us, say what up. If you're new here, say what up. I'm currently swinging Netgear. Let's see what's going on with Netgear. What's their ticker? NTGR. Man. Market is closed on Monday? What's Monday? Yo, Class AI, what's going on? Netgear, I would just be careful that the volume is just not good. Hey Patty, how you doing? So I would be careful. I would be very careful with this. If you guys are new to trading options and you're looking at trading options and there's low volume, just know that, I know that I'm trading shop right now with low volume, but when I say low volume, it's still trading at like 500 and 300 the strikes that I'm trading. These guys here like Netgear, I mean, only 141, only 60, and a lot of these are not traded at all. So I would say when you're trading low volume options and you're new to options trading, it makes it more difficult to make money. Liquidity is your friend for getting in and out. Oh, President's Day? I mean, I wasn't even looking ahead that far. But I don't have any trades on for next week either, so it's good to know. Washington's birthday. It's Trump Day. Thanks for that. I'll close my 40% gain tomorrow. Adele, nice. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like Netgear chart, I do see that I do like to play 52-week highs and 52-week lows, and this is definitely a nice chart here for me personally, what I like to trade. But it's gonna be difficult. You ever get your orders filled with CBOE? Yeah, I just let's see here. Who do we get orders? Yeah, I mean, VTech, yeah, I do. But I usually just choose best. Whoever the best, who's going to give me the price. Good call on President's Day. Theta Monday. Yeah, we can sell some spreads on. And now it looks like SPY's kind of pulling back up here a little bit. It's crazy. Let's check out Nvidia. Nvidia, what do you guys think? You think Nvidia is gonna break to 180? So right now it's at 167. I don't like that the 1 year chart doesn't reflect the price right now, but it is what it is. So now we broke above, the 160 area. 173. If we can get to like 173 to kind of fill the gap here, it could be some good trades. On the dips, I would say probably gonna wanna put on some bullish strangles. But yeah, depends on the guidance, FC. Go to school. What's your best hedging bet for a market collapse? I guess, Michael, I guess the best hedging you have to, it depends on what your positions are. You know, like I'm using SPY to hedge certain things right now. But I mean, it depends on, I mean, if you're heavy on the banks, I actually haven't looked at what the banks were doing today. This would have been a good trade. I've been trading. Last couple of weeks, I've been trading GS pretty well. Need to get back on that. Had some nice action this week. I didn't look at it all week. I made some money on it last week and the week before that, but I went from 188 to 198 back down to 190, 189. I mean, this is. Oh yeah, the JP Morgan coin. So yeah, there was a CNBC push alert that JP Morgan built their own crypto coin to handle transactions. I don't know. It's still in the testing phases, so it's hard to say if it's going to be. I definitely think that they need something like to get money to people faster, because like ACH and stuff like that. You know, if you're thinking about the future, you know, and where we've been, like to get people money back in the day, like we grew up in an era like, you know, my mom would cut checks at the grocery store. You know, she'd be like. He's like, hey, your groceries are $59.97. Okay, hold on, let me get my checkbook out. And they would take checks at the grocery store. Now you use your debit card; it's all immediate, comes out of your checking account, and it's fine. So what's the next step? How do we get ACH? How do we get ACH transactions money faster? Like if you do an ACH transfer to somebody, it could take 3 to 5 business days to get to somebody. On like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, the faster they can get those loans out, the faster they can get the money in the people's hands. You know, the more money they're going to make, the more money Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan is going to make. The faster they can handle transactions, the more money they can make, because they're going to charge fees on those transactions, obviously. It's not going to be free. They're doing it to make money. Check, what's that? XRP is the Phoenix? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to, it's too hard to tell if crypto is going to just go to zero or if it's going to be like, but I highly doubt that the government and the banks are going to allow like Bitcoin and those to rise up, because they don't have control of it. You know, why do you think that these companies publicly shame crypto but yet praise blockchain? And internally, they're doing their own things regarding blockchain and all that internally, because they can't make money off of Bitcoin and XRP. So JP Morgan will launch its own coin to handle transactions. You know, so it's a game. It's a game, and right now, like Bitcoin and all those things, sure, it's a $100 billion market. It was almost, what was it, 800 billion at one point, like last year, 900 billion, almost $1 trillion, and now they knocked it down to 100 billion, and then they're going to start using coins, but internally for their own transactions. Yeah, Robinhood IPO is supposed to happen too, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Also, IPOs this year, Uber and Lyft, which I think will be very interesting. I think one of the two are going to go out of business, either Uber or Lyft. The "we won't let you bounce or float checks for emergency groceries" coin. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like if you were at the grocery store and they took down your driver's license or anything, and then like if your check bounced, they will find you and they will come. You know, it was like Liam Neeson and Taken before the racist stuff. You know, has Roku been talked about? Boss, no. I know a lot of people have been trading Roku. I haven't traded it this week, but definitely has been on an upswing that has not been going down. Like the dips keep getting bought, and it looks like here If we can close this gap from 50 to 55, I mean, would be pretty nice. Yo, Sergio, I'm good, man. How you doing? You know, we went from. So right now, here's the test. Here's the test right here. Is it gonna try to fill this gap, or are we gonna kind of go back down to 45? So like for me, if I was looking at a trade like this, and I wanted to trade it bullishly. You know, let's just say it's for next week. You know, you would, man, the expected move on this is $6 for next week. I mean, that's nuts. So they're expecting it to go up more than 10% in the next week. That's tough. What's the because their earnings are the 21st. All right, well, let's do this week then. Yeah, so always check. That's a lot. So let's just say if I was gonna play a bullish trade on this, you know, you'd probably want to buy something like this. Then you can ride to 55, but if it gets rejected down to 45, you could the 49 put will protect you. Obviously, I don't think this trade would work out like one day, but. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. You know, I wouldn't trade. I would probably maybe trade the earnings. The problem is these are so expensive. You might be able to trade the earnings run up to next week, but even the 55s is like $2. So it's tough. It's tough. I think Roku will definitely be a trade for after earnings though. You know, because it's gonna be violent. Last time it was up to like 59, it came down to like 51. So QQQ. Yeah, VTech. Yeah, VTech. You're talking about QQQ. Yeah, QQQ. What? I don't know, man. I think FC. I think my son just knocked down my daughter. We're good parents. I promise. I promise. Meanwhile, I'm here on the stream doing nothing about it. I said. Man, yeah, that was a loud one. That was a loud one. The thing about QQQ right now, which is interesting, is that I know it's been bullish, but this still looks like a very descending pattern. Like, what if I know this hasn't worked in the past because the dips have been so massive, but because like especially down here, so like if you're looking at this, you know, we have a very descending pattern here. Here's a high, here's a high, here's a high, here's a high, and that's descending, right? And then down in here, I think what people were expecting was it would pop up, make this high up here, and then go lower, and this would be a new high here, right? But it broke down, but then we ripped back up a couple of days. But if this up here, if we can't break through to 175, you know, it's still going to be in that descending pattern still, you know. Michael's got gold calls. Yeah, gold GC is up. It was down a little. I think it was down. /GC was down $8 this morning, and now it's up 60 cents. So I mean, I guess that's progress. For anyone that doesn't know, futures options trade around the clock. Yeah, FINRA. Yeah, if you guys don't know, you could trade around the clock futures options, and also it doesn't count towards PDT. However, if you don't know how to trade them, paper trade, because it's not as easy as you guys think. Square, Andrew. Square barely moved today. Came back up here. I mean, we went to 74 to 76. You know, everything that happened today just happened quick and then died out. Like same thing with Baba Square, and then Baba, and then just kind of crapped out. Was just kind of chilling here. It came back up to where it was yesterday. Really, you know, it closed up 4 cents on the day, which is terrible. But what I would say, Alex learned a lesson, been lurking. Hey, lurk. If you're here, say what up. If you haven't said anything, Square, I think we really need to break above this 78 level, but it needs a catalyst. When's their earnings coming up? February 27th. So theirs is about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. So I think right now it's just a holding period until earnings. I would say normally I would trade if Square was down, like let's say Square was down here and we're like a week away from earnings, I would probably buy calls on the ramp up. But since it's already went up so much, it's gone up $25 almost in the last month or so. It's a tough trade. You know, it might just be in a holding period until it might just swing between 75 and 70 for the next week or two. Yo, Tobin, what up? Midwest. Is Ohio considered the Midwest? I don't know. It's kind of on the eastern side, but gonna buy some closing sale shoes from Payless. Isn't yeah, Payless going out of business, I think. Andrew for a swing to ER I'm planning. Nice. Surprised Nvidia not having more effect in the Qs. I don't know what the weight is of Nvidia. I don't think the weight is very high because I mean it's still a smaller company. BTech BA. Yeah, BA is still up here. Now, normally on like a chart like this, I would be kind of loading in the puts, especially just looking up here, not moving. But considering the market that I've been doing that and has not been working, it's tough. You know, it's tough. This would be a tough trade. I don't know what the option pricing is for next week. Let's see, option pricing for next week. BA for next week. So it's expecting a $9 move. It moved this week $9. I would say probably not priced great. Yeah, it's not priced very great. 4.7. Let's see here. 4.9. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much equal on the calls and the puts. Nothing really skewed. So I would like to short it, but I honestly don't know if that would be the right move. Just considering when I've been doing that on other stocks, and buying puts has not been winning since January 1st, basically. And on this chart, you can see you anytime you loaded in puts, if you didn't take profits, and kind of like what we experienced today on shop, you know. The put side, the short side is very short-lived. Same with Alibaba. I cashed out my Alibaba short. It ripped back up, you know. 98 billion market cap on Nvidia. Yeah, I don't think that's enough to pull the Qs down that or up. Let's see here. Baidu ER swing too. Yeah, Baidu we talked about yesterday a little bit. Do they have? Yeah, when was their earnings? Because it said February 14th here, which is today. But I don't see. Oh, okay. So Baidu, this is where you gotta do your due diligence here. So I don't think they reported it here. Tastyworks is saying it's after close 221, as you can see right here, after market close, and then on Thinkorswim is saying earnings scheduled February 14th. Did they move it? So you gotta make sure you do your due diligence. 7-day bought puts. He's not afraid. I got like, I've been buying puts and I've been like, I've been twitching due to it. It's like, you're definitely not big enough where it would be potential domino effect on chips. Yeah, I think AMD was moving on that. AMD was moving on the Nvidia. So Nvidia, AMD is up 40 cents. You guys know each other. All right, we got a couple of minutes left. What else you guys want to cover real quick? We got about 4 minutes left, then I got to go out to dinner. So let's do it quick. If you've been here and this video was of value to you, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button. If you're new here, say hi. If you want to subscribe. That'd be great. If you want to get notifications, tap the bell for when I go live or when we post videos. But if you don't want the notifications, don't clutter your phone up. We're kind of chill here, kind of easy breezy. MU. And MU has been running pretty good, but how are those option prices though? So for next week, it's $2. Expected move is $2. And man, that would have paid well this week. When's their earnings? Earnings scheduled March 21st. So yeah, you're good. Looks like MU wants to make a recovery here. It definitely when it broke above this level here, the 40-ish range, it's good to like 45, 46, 47 area. Twitter, Josh, got you, man. You don't ask for much. I got you. I think Twitter's chart is just so ugly, and if you look at it the whole year, it's really just back to where it's been the whole year. A lot of drama, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, all for it just to get back to where it's at. On Twitter, I've made a lot of money on Twitter like 2017, early 2018. I think that the best way I've found success when trading Twitter is trading the breakouts or when it rips under. So like when it broke out like right here in June, it went from 36 to 47 like 2 weeks. Did pretty well in there. Then when it was kind of coming back down, but this was earnings induced. So the best play for that one would have been playing, obviously it opened up here. It went from, when it opened, it was like 37, and then it went down to 34 in a day, and then went from 34 down to 31. Like nobody thought that was gonna happen. These puts were being like traded at like 1,000%, 2,000% and stuff like that. But the best way I find is when it finally breaks out of range is when you put the trade on. What's the best place to eat in Chicago on Valentine's Day if you want to impress the ladies? There's a lot of places you can go. The problem is if you want to go places, you got to get them in. You got to get in early because everything fills up. Yeah, Josh, I agree with you. You know, if it breaks below 30, would be a good trade. And then if it goes into the 20s, it'll probably be a good trade. So, anyways, go to Costco. Yeah, go bring your significant other to Costco. Grab a burger, you can order the whole menu. You can get everything on. You can get one of everything for $10. Anyways, we're out of time. It's been an hour. It's been great chatting with you guys. You know, it's always us versus herd. Stay safe, stay green. If you guys want to join our socials, the links are below. If you want to join the communities, the links are below. We're all here. So be safe. Have a great Valentine's Day. Take it easy.